I'm Jess and this is my February wrap up. It is the 27th of February now and I just thought there's only 2 days left. I don't think I'm going to finish another book, but who knows, but this is kind of my wrap up. Anything else I will add to the March wrap up that I'll do. I'm going to do a separate video for my TBR I think this time because last time's video was a bit long. So let's get started on the books I read in February. The first book I read was The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series and I absolutely love this book. I loved all the new characters, especially Piper and Jason. I just loved their characteristics and how they're all presented, and I loved everything. I loved their backstories and how they related to this quest that they're on now and how it all pieced together at the end and you realize what's been happening, and I'm really excited for the rest of this series and I can't wait to just carry on with it. The next book I read was part of my challenge for February and that was City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. This is the third book in the Mortal Instruments series and this was definitely my favourite so far of the series. The other ones have always seemed a bit too slow for me, where this one was the exact opposite and it was so fast-paced and amazing and I loved everything that happened in it and it's so heartbreaking and Cassandra Clare, why do you do these things to us? I don't know. But I love everything that happened and I love this series at the moment. I'm kind of on a little bit of a Mortal Instruments binge and I love it. After I finished City of Glass, I immediately picked up Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Infernal Devices series, which is like a prequel series to the Mortal Instruments, which follows like ancestors of the characters in the first series. I'm reading the books in publication order because apparently there are a lot of like little bits that are in them that cross over and you can tell if you read them in publication order, which has worked for me so far. This follows a girl named Tessa Gray who finds out that she has these powers to shapeshift and we don't really know what she is and like how she is what she is. They think she's a warlock but they're not really sure, and the Shadowhunters, Jem and Will and some other Shadowhunters that I can't really remember the name of, and Will and Jem both fall in love with Tessa and they kind of have a bit of a love triangle going on I think in the next book, but I haven't read that one yet, so I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one more than the Mortal Instruments series and I really love the characters and I just want Will forever. After I finished that, this was when I went on holiday and these are the books I read while I was traveling, and the first book was Fahrenheit 451. I read this by Red Bradbury. I read this in about 2 hours on a 10-hour car journey and it was so thought-provoking and it was so amazing, and I do have a review of this so I won't talk too much about it, so link down below with my review of this, and this is my teacher's copy so I do need to give it back soon. So but look how many notes I made about the content of this book. I really need to unfold those before I give it back to my teacher, but I love this book so much. The next book I read was Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Again, another one I read on a 10-hour car journey and it took me about 2 hours to finish as well, and I really enjoyed this one. Not as much as I enjoyed Fahrenheit 551, but I still enjoyed it and it still got 4 stars, so it's pretty good. And I just felt like I was disconnected to the characters, but I did really think it was really funny, and that's what this book is about. I think it's a bit absurd and it's weird, and I really want to see the movie. The next book I read was a Kindle ebook, and this is one I got for review, which I still need to write a review of, but I'll do a review video I think. And that is Dawbones by Holly Black. The cover will be somewhere where I can fit it on, I guess. And this is about a group of characters who are all, I think, around 13, I'd say, and they would play this game with their like action figures and dolls and stuff, and one of them lies to his friends and says that he's too old to play the game anymore when his father throws out all his toys that he used to play the game. Then a doll that they used in the game as a queen starts to haunt them and asks them to bury it, so that they go on one last adventure to bury this doll and the game forever. And I really, really enjoyed this book. I thought it was going to be a bit too young for me because it is a middle grade book, but it just really wasn't at all. I just understood what all the characters were going through, and I loved their relationships with each other and how they developed, and I really, really enjoyed the characters, and everything that went on was so supernatural and weird that I was just like, wow, this is so weird that this is happening, and then I kind of forgot it wasn't real. The next book I read was also a Kindle ebook that I got for a review because I kind of wanted to catch up on my review books, and that is The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. This is the first Jennifer E. Smith book I've read, but I've heard a lot about her, from the statistical probability of love at first sight, and This Is What Happy Looks Like. And this book was just so sweet. It follows a girl called Lucy and a boy called, I can't remember the boy's name, but they meet in an elevator in a blackout in New York, and when they're in the elevator it stops and they're stuck in there for about half an hour, and then they go through the rest of the blackout with each other and have this like amazing night. And then after this amazing night they both go off traveling in other places. And during the night, the boy, I can't remember his name, said that postcards were just really horrible ways of sending things, because the wish you were here just sounds really horrible, because why didn't you bring them? And they start sending each other postcards while they're away, and it's just this back and forth between them and their travels. And it's just, I thought it was a really good book, and it was really good that I read it while I was traveling, because it just made me feel like, yes, I need to travel more, and it just made me want to get excited about going to different countries. Next book I read was the end of my challenge for February, and that was City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. And while I loved this book, it still didn't meet up to City of Glass, because I loved City of Glass, but I started to understand all the characters better, and I really feel connected to Jace during this book, because he has some real existential crises, and he's just like so confused on whether he should love his father or whether he should hate his father because of what happened. And I really feel like I connect with that, because while I don't want to pour my heart out on YouTube, but I don't have like the greatest family life, and some of my family have done really bad things, and like I don't like them because of what they've done, but they're still a part of my childhood, and it makes it hard to disconnect from that. And I really understood Jace, and I feel like I connect with him in a way that I can't many other characters, and that I don't think a lot of people do. That a lot of people would be like, well, you know Valentine was evil, why don't you just disconnect from him? But it's not really possible when that was part of your childhood. You grew up with that, and to know that that's just changed is quite disheartening and scary, I guess. And I don't want to pour my heart out over YouTube, so I'll just go off that topic. But I really am grateful for Cassandra Clare for understanding that, and I really think that's a great message to put across, that you can't just disconnect even though you know they did bad things. And yeah, I love this series, but I'm kind of iffy on all of them, but I really did love this book, and I am going to do a review of the entire series once I finish City of Lost Souls, so look forward to that soon. After I finished that, I read Swipe by Evan Angela. I've been reading this book on and off because I needed to review it for my church, so I need to write a review rather than film one, and I always feel like when I write reviews, I write them better when I've just finished the book. So I got quite far while I was on holiday, but then I was like, I don't want to read it anymore because I want to finish it while I'm at home so that I can actually write a review. And I have one now, it's on my Tumblr, I will link it down below. And I really enjoyed this. I didn't love it, I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars, but I loved all the characters, and I loved the points of view shifts and stuff like that, and you should read my review. I do a very in-depth review of this. I don't know why it was so in-depth. It's like 600 words, and normally all my reviews are like 300. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. So that's all the books I read, and I have actually started another book, but I don't know if I've finished it. I'm going to finish it by the end of February, so I will put how far I got in this book somewhere on the screen. Here or here or here, and that is Unravel Me by Tara Mathy. And as you can see, I'm already really loving this book because I've already put like little tabs on it. But I'm about, how far am I? 47 pages into this book. I only started about half an hour ago maybe. And I'm enjoying it so far. I love Tara Mathy's writing style. It's just, it speaks to me so much, and it makes me feel like, why can't I write the way you can, Tara Mathy? It's just so good, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of this book. And then maybe I will buy Ignite Me, so maybe you'll see that in a future haul video. So yeah, that's all I read in February. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a little bit books, and yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's not like anything like last month, but I read a lot last month for no reason. I just read loads and loads and loads, and I don't even know why. And yeah, so I really enjoyed this reading month, and I will do a TBR soon. I think I might film it now maybe, but just do it in separate videos so that it's not overwhelming. So yeah, I will see you next time. Goodbye.